Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to my channel, Synergistic Singing. I want to talk about singing and the feeling mind, and what that means for you as a singer, and how you can really take a lot of weight off your shoulders if you understand this concept. So I ran into the idea of the feeling mind in totally separate subject that I was just reading a book, and it really clicked for me, and it made me say, yeah, there's this whole other part of your mind that's learning how to sing, and a lot of times we don't address that, and I think it can make you feel like either like your ability to sing is really fixed and rigid and cannot be changed, or that your ability to sing is totally in your control, and anything that goes wrong or anything that you can't currently do is totally just because you're not doing something right. And actually, neither of these are true. The reality is that there's a part of your brain that is involved in making sound that's been there since you were a baby. It was the thing that helped you scream, cry, laugh. And that part of your brain you have to figure out how to communicate with that part of your brain. It's not your thinking mind. And so there's some conscious effort involved, conscious mental, physical effort involved in singing. There's also this other thing going on, this mysterious part of your mind that's also learning how to sing. And we have to nurture that. We have to make room for that, because that's a very important part of being able to sing and sing well. So the feeling mind, I'll give an example of it. It's the ability to sense something more clearly. And an example of this would be colors. So as a baby, you did not know all the names of all the different colors. You couldn't recognize those differences at first. But after experiencing many different colors and having your parents say, this is blue, 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 then you start to see, oh, blue. Yeah, I can see that now. And there was no, as a baby, you weren't thinking really hard, Perhaps you were throwing out a guess on occasion, like, oh, could that be blue? But there was no conscious effort. The only key ingredient was you needed different types of experiences of color, and then you needed to pay attention to those differences of experience. And everything else happened in its own natural way. And so when you're singing, here are a couple questions I'd have for you. Can you tell when there's air escaping between words or syllables when you're singing? Can you tell the second your volume drops or the second your volume increases just a touch, like at the very end of a word? Can you tell when you go from a breathy sound to a non-breathy sound? Can you tell when you're getting a darker sound quality because you're getting more space inside, or a brighter sound quality because you're getting less space inside? Can you tell all these different things? Can you tell when your tongue is hanging out in the back and it's kind of down? Can you tell when your tongue is actually more forward? And hear that difference in sound it creates. These are all various colors in your voice. You could think of these as all various colors. I can't make you hear these differences and sense all these differences. And you can't make yourself sense all these differences. Because just like a baby, there's a part of your mind that just has to experience these differences, and then you make a guess. But it's not totally up to you whether or not you're gonna hear or sense these things clearly right away. And it's a process, and it happens kind of on its own. I could imagine if there is an adult who grew up blind and then they could see, and now they're trying to figure out colors. I could see that with this idea that we have, that everything is in this, I guess, individualistic society where we think everything is up to us. I could totally see someone actually, now they can see all these colors, but they can't recognize any of the differences. And I could absolutely see someone getting really frustrated because they're like really staring at blue and trying to see like, is it red? Is it red? I can't figure this out. And you'd have to explain to that person, no, it's not, it doesn't work that way. Like, you just notice these different colors, enjoy yourself, go to a flower garden to see all the different colors, just have some fun with it. And over time, you're gonna recognize these differences. And it's helpful if someone can come in and say, oh, yellow, 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 orange, 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 and just give you the answers. And what happens is over time, you start to see it. And some things in voice lessons are just this way. If I hear a song on the radio, I can pick out all of the notes of the melody on the piano, but I couldn't do that before. Before, I'd have no idea, and I'd make a wild guess. And I usually guessed wrong, like a whole lot. But over time, as I learned intervals, scale degrees, I practiced jumping around, I practiced guessing a whole lot and listening a whole lot, it just started to happen on its own. And now when I hear a song, it's just instant. I know every single note that's being sung. Now I don't have perfect pitch, so I don't know the exact note, but if I'm given one note, I know the rest, so I have relative pitch. And there was some effort in that I had to pay attention, but it wasn't this strenuous effort. It happened on its own over time. When you're learning how to sing, then it's helpful if you can say, okay, this is what I want to do, and now I have a couple different ways to approach this. So I can consciously work at it, like having clear vowels or learning the vowels of a foreign language and learning how to sing in French. You have to learn, new vowels. So you consciously work at those tongue positions. But then there's also this unconscious feeling mind that's involved, which is, can I give myself a lot of different experiences? Can I, listen to French songs? Can I just make fun of a French singer just to see if by playing around with those sounds, I might run into the vowels, and let that feeling part of my mind just experience and notice those differences. How can you empower your practicing knowing this? Well, one way is to change the questions that you ask about your singing. So perhaps you sing a song or you sing a phrase of a song and you say, was that any good? Was that correct? Was that right? Did I do this right? Instead of asking that question, or maybe in addition to asking that question, you could say, what did it feel like to do that? What did it sound like in a descriptive way? Did it sound warm and rich? Did it sound bright and clear? Did it sound louder, softer? Things that don't have a judgment or label attached to them. They just have a quality to them. Just like if I said, what color is your car? You wouldn't say bad. It's the color bad. That gives me zero information about the experience of your car. What is and I'm asking about the experience of your car. I'm trying to create an image in my mind of what your car is like. And saying it's the color bad doesn't tell me what's actually happening. So instead you'd say, oh, it's a dark red and it has a glittery sheen on it, and now I have an experience in my mind. So I've had some sense of what your car looks like, and maybe I hate that color, maybe I love that color. It doesn't matter though. So if you're practicing, one way is to say, I'm going to sing through, and I'm not going to try to do anything. I'm just going to try to pay closer attention to my experience, and I'm going to say, what was that? What did that line feel like in my body to sing? Did it feel like I had a lot of open space? Did it feel like I had a smaller space as I was singing inside? Did I feel like I was pushing or holding or pulling, or what was it like? Well, imagine you're an alien and you dropped into this human body and you sung this phrase. Describe the experience as if you're writing a novel. And what happens is you start to notice things that you weren't noticing before. And then you have more conscious control of what actually happens in your singing versus just shutting it down with, that was crap. So, and it's okay. It's okay if you feel that way. You don't need to like then feel guilty about being judgmental and then go into a whole spiral there. It's okay if you feel that way about a phrase. I've felt that way many times, but it doesn't give you any information. And so this is one way you can understand this and apply it, is say, can I really, really dig deep and see what it is? What does it feel like to sing this phrase? What does it sound like to sing this phrase? In descriptive, not judgmental terms. Here's one more way that you can create some space for your subconscious or your feeling mind to be involved in your progress as a singer. And sometimes what you can consciously do will take you nowhere. It will really not help you. And what you accidentally do by giving some room for this other part of your brain to be involved in your singing is a much better way. So another thing that you can do is to say, how many variations can I create of this single phrase? So if, let's say you have a phrase and you've been singing at the same volume, try to come up with 50 different volumes that you could sing that same phrase. And you will discover much more about your voice than if you sing the phrase 50 times with the same exact volume the whole time. And you could do this with really any different idea, different vowels in your singing, different airflow rates, different ways that you inhale or exhale. The sky's the limit of the amount of variety that you can do. But by giving yourself, by creating many different variations, you run into new experiences, and this also helps you grow as a singer. For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe, and for voice lessons, either online or in my Austin, Texas studio, go to synergisticsinging.com/schedule a lesson. Thanks for watching.